Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Signs of the Sojourner, where today we are completing our journey, and Elias is fretting over the fate of Bartow. I have to be honest, me too. I feel like we've done a good job of keeping the store stocked, making the place feel valuable, but it's very clear that that is not the only pressure, right? And I do not feel like I've got any sense of what was going on with the Rilkers and Mom, or like outside forces may still doom the town regardless of whether or not we have like technically done the thing we were told to do. Let's chat with Elias about it first. Well, do I want to start with Elias? Maybe I want to do Elias last. Because our deck is going to get a little more circle and triangle over the course of our time here. Yeah, maybe we go like Elias and Nadine at the end. Masha looks almost happy to see you. Almost. Looking up from her garden, Masha spots you and waves, a warmer welcome than that to which you've become accustomed. Intrigued, you proceed with caution. The garden's bouncing back nicely, isn't it? I've always had a way with plants. To be fair, it wasn't all in the old green thumb, though. The caravan was actually a big help. Not sure what I'd have done without those materials. Yeah, no, I know. The caravan's valuable to the town. I get you. Probably just another... you know what? This. What if she... Ah, crap. Nope, it's fine. I'll just clarify what I was saying earlier. There we go. Can't say I always saw eye to eye with your mother. The caravan doesn't just bring goods, it brings people. I've never been keen on outsiders. Strangers have a way of making home a little less homey. It starts slow at first, but after a while you can't miss it. The outside creeping in. Man, a lot of people are just huge bummers. On the other hand, I might not have a home without those people. I know I'm not the only one either. So, maybe your mother wasn't all wrong. Especially in these tough times, I'm starting to see the benefits of working together. I'm so happy to hear somebody acknowledge the obvious benefits of not being xenophobic. Let's try that again. No, I don't... Do I want to do triangle on the right? I probably... Well, you know what? I don't want to do a reconsider, though, because we know the cards that are still in our deck are going to be heavy on symbols she probably doesn't have. So I guess we are playing this and just hoping. Give me a double triangle. Yeah, I can work with that. Don't misunderstand me now. I still think some of the stuff you lug back is pretty weird. Here, these caladiums are for you. You earned them. Take care of them like you've taken care of the store, like you've taken care of the town. Do that, and I'm sure they'll bring you happiness. Okay, well that was nice of her. Masha returns to her garden. Her back is turned, but you can tell she's smiling, even if it's just a little. Well, I mean, we could just keep the deck pretty much the same. There's still some trauma spirals available to us. And I feel like a lot of people have these, right? But it's been so difficult to predict what people are going to play. I do like having a reconsider in the deck. I think I'm gonna not change anything for right now. Let's have a chat with Ramir, taking a stroll down memory lane. You spot Ramir in the middle of the street where he grew up. He looks a little lost, somewhere between wistfulness and listlessness. It's weird to be back in a place I've spent all my time avoiding, you know? There used to be a house here. I feel like it's maybe a little inappropriate for me to, interrupt his reverie in this way. Some folks get time off work and go back to their family home, their childhood bedroom. Isn't that wild? It is hard for me to imagine, but for other reasons. If my childhood bedroom were still here, I'd rub a cigarette into the wood floors and watch it burn down. Do I want to keep carrying forward the triangle? I kind of want to get him onto playing some circles, and also he has played a lot of double triangle cards here, so he might be running low. But it's really hard to know. I'll just take and accommodate, I guess. Okay, that's really good news for us. You probably don't feel the same, though. Seems like the store's doing well. Good for Bartow. I like that everybody seems to feel like we're saving the town. Personally, I'd prefer if the caravan never stopped here. I don't care if your store becomes some kind of institution. Alright, well, it's a little... That feels like a disharmonious response to me, but fine. Oh, wow, that caught me off guard. Here, play like anything onto this. I wonder if we were about to get into trouble if I hadn't, if I hadn't played a card that had a diamond on it without really thinking about the value a diamond might have. Because I wonder if he had played out a lot of his circles and triangles already. Some places shouldn't be relived. They activate a bunch of old, dormant memories better left dead. Approachable is never how you'd describe Ramir, but sometimes you can still tell exactly what he's thinking. Well, I mean, approachable might not be a word I would use for him, but he's awfully direct. A thing I do not have any trouble with Ramir is figuring out what he's thinking, because he will just tell you with words. Part of me wants to take this card. I know it's not any good here in Bartow, but there are places on the road where it's going to be really useful. I think I want this one. I know I'm making things a little bit more awkward here. I might replace this. I like elaborates a lot, but this one having a diamond on its left makes it unplayable here most of the time anyway, so we're not really damaging our effectiveness in Bartow, and this will be useful later. I'm going to do that, as much as I love and elaborate. Let's talk to Nadine now. We'll do Elias last. Nadine pushes open the door to your store and steps inside. She takes in every inch of the place with discerning, analytical eyes and gestures for you to join her on the stoop. Your store. Is it always like this? I won't say I'm impressed, but your inventory is not the worst. Yeah, well, Samuel just bought everything, so it often does look a little fuller. Let's just grab another accommodate. Yeah. Okay. Keep going like this, and maybe we won't have to drop Bartow from our route after all. Whatever the Rilkers try to pull, we'll just deal with. I'm not making any decisions until the end of the month, but you're on the right track. Nadine looks back over her shoulder as she heads down the street, genuinely surprised by how well your shop is doing. Okay, well, that's kind of insulting. She really thought there was no chance I was going to make it. I don't love this. I don't really want either of these cards. We'll take this over one of our existing double circles, and that means probably the Clarify. So I think I would rather keep the Reconsider. They both do good work sometimes. The Reconsider is going to get way more valuable as we get out on the road and start to accumulate fatigue. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep that. Elias is sitting on the curb outside your shop, hunched over with his head in his hands. He looks worried. Nadine's going to be making the call in the caravan soon, and I gotta be honest, I'm worried about Bartow. Yeah, I hear you. I feel like I'm doing an okay job, though. Okay, he's got a little bit of trauma here, but he seems pretty recovered. Believe me, I'm no fan of Nadine's, but without a steady influx of goods from the caravan, things could get real bad around here. Ghost town bad. I wish I could trust her to do the right thing, but what's she going to prioritize? The needs of the caravan, the needs of this town, or the needs of herself? And even if she wanted to help, can she really, with the Rilkers breathing down her neck? Yeah, it's tough to say. So you have an accommodate and some double circles. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. Just going out on a limb here, but I'm thinking our little town is not at the top of her list. And the fate of your mom's store certainly isn't on her mind either, that much I can guarantee. I'm sure you seem to be doing fine now, but what'll happen if you lose access to the caravan for good? Yeah, it would be a problem, no doubt. We're not there yet, though. I never thought I'd say this, but I think Nadine may be a necessary evil. Guess that's why your mom put up with her for all those years. What is our evidence that Nadine's any kind of evil? He takes a deep breath, trying to calm his rattled nerves. You sit down next to Elias and put your arm around his shoulder. I don't want a fifth accommodate, do I? Probably not. But I'd rather have a fifth accommodate than a blank double circle. So there's no version of this where we take the double circle. The question is, replace an accommodate or replace the observe. Because this card is going to get pretty not great pretty fast out on the road. This functions as a double circle a lot of the time. Yeah, I'm going to do it. All right. It is time to head out. One more time here. And I think I'm not going with the caravan because I think we're, like, there's still Persari and stuff, right? We'll swing through Bukumbura on our way east. Yeah, I think I like that. This route worked out pretty okay last time, as I remember. A bored child races your truck on her bike. A number of townsfolk watch as your truck passes by, but the distant sound of a train approaching is of far more interest to the residents of Bukumbura. Oh, also Miriam died. She found herself right at home, befriending neighbors and uplifting the community. She will be sorely missed. Matilda will hold a service in the town center. Which she is just finishing now. The funeral takes place on a sunny day, so Miriam's weeping admirers have to provide the rain. After Matilda's final words, the guests shuffle into Miriam's old chocolate store to drink and feast, but Matilda invites you for a walk. I didn't lie to Miriam, you know. All of her readings were joyful. I saw the whale, an oak tree, even the unbroken comet. And yet it feels like maybe you brought me out here to unburden yourself a little. Okay, we can work with that. Maybe I'm just no good at sadness. I read that we were supposed to have rain today, but I even managed to chase the clouds away. Oh, she's like upset that she doesn't feel upset enough. I guess that's not a horrible quality to have. We're gonna need a lot of hope around this place. A lot of new people are coming in by railroad. I get that though, feeling like being worried that you can't feel the appropriate thing in a difficult moment. I probably don't need more accommodates. Let's pull this. Just in case she plays something that has a circle on one side but not the other. I think Bukumbura will be okay. There's got to be more people like Miriam in the world that want to come here. That's good. I like Matilda. If the railroad wasn't reopened, then maybe I never would have met Miriam. We got to take care of it, no matter what. There we go. The strength of all of those accords will get us through. Sorry, I just miss her a lot. She was such a nice person, especially to kids. Let me cry a little bit, okay? You let Matilda cry on your jacket. You also loan her your handkerchief. She seems grateful for your assuring presence, and she didn't seem to be able to get there by herself, so I'm glad we were here for her, even if I don't know that I necessarily did a lot, you know. I think I'm just gonna keep that the same. Alexis is setting up a new stall. Unexpectedly, you pick out a familiar face among the crowd. It's none other than Alexis. Based on their stall, complete with a bright new umbrella, they appear to have bounced back. Recovered from the bad luck, I guess. Hey, my most trusted customer. Yes, the rumors are true. I'm afraid I've left Clifton behind me. It's not really a rumor. I'm looking at you right now. So this is awkward. Do I want to dump this hand? I think so. Does something trouble you? Okay, this we can work with. The competition isn't so fierce here in Bukumbura, but that won't be the case in a few weeks. Listen to me ramble. How does Bartow fare? Perhaps you should move too. It's a thought. Alright, if you just want to keep playing double triangles, we're going to get along just fine. I'm trying to build a proper safety net out here for myself. Something that can endure a disaster or two. Gosh, what a beautiful idea. The ability to survive a disaster. I'm having trouble finding sustainable growers around here, though. Many don't take proper care of their bees. I love how concerned they look about that. That's very cute. All that ruckus over there is about a funeral. That's a shame. I was wondering why my sales were slow. You wish Alexis luck, but don't think they'll need it. For whatever quirks they might have, they're remarkably adaptable to circumstances good and bad. That's someone you can look forward to doing business with. Yeah, these are interesting. I don't really... I don't want to pick up a chatter with a triangle on the right side. For what I think are probably pretty obvious reasons. So we probably want this. I guess if I pick up this chatter, then at least we can accommodate off of it. That actually, 6 of the cards in our deck are appropriate to play after this. Maybe this one's not so bad. Although it might be 5 of the cards in our deck if we replace and accommodate with this. I mean, really, what I will be looking to do is take this back out of the deck quickly. I don't want to drop this, though, because I think we're unlikely to be able to find a card that is as good for where we're going. So I guess I would drop the Reconsider. I don't love that. It's probably better to drop the Accommodate. One of the Accommodates. Yeah, all right. And Thunder is chasing a lizard down the street. We do not need fatigue reduction yet, but we also will not be coming back here, so we won't have another interaction with Thunder here. The dusty main road doesn't seem to hold much of interest to Thunder until your passing spooks a lizard from its sunny spot. Thunder, you be nice to that lizard. Thunder takes off down the road after it, barking in excitement. And I assume if we had had a fatigue card, we probably would have lost it there. I don't want to go up to Anka, do I? No, probably not. Because we're gonna have a much more natural route through Anka on the way back. Yeah. Rest stop off the side of the road. Something gains an accord. I actually don't know what I want to put the accord on. Most of our cards are... Every card in our deck is effectively a double symbol anyway. Even this one with the... since it has the elaborate, so... All of these cards are good at generating accords. I guess I'll put it here. I don't think it matters. The central plaza bustles with activity, though you sense some underlying tension as you pass an assortment of tents and makeshift shelters. Shops stand open, but don't seem entirely welcoming. Yeah, Aurora kind of sucks, right? Lars is all squares. Okay, let's talk to Lars now. We're not going to get any better at interacting with Lars as we spend time here. He's living in a tent. It's designed to be taken down and moved frequently. He doesn't have many possessions inside. I figured I would have moved on from Aldhurst by now. Yeah, I think it might be in your best interest too. They're gonna do something awful to you if you don't leave, is my fear. It's not doing me any good to be here. Got forced off that patch I was trying to garden. People sure have a lot of papers. Yeah, I feel really bad for this dude. I'd go elsewhere, but I need more food and money for the road. Hey, don't sweat it. I'm not going to ask you for that. Have you considered moving to Bartow? Okay, that was actually a really good play. And then... Unfortunately... I didn't draw an accommodate, which is what I was hoping would happen there. Here, we can throw this down, break down to the old accord, but at least make use of this new accord. I can chatter my way to the end of this conversational line. Maybe? He's got a lot of squares and stuff. I'm going to take this. So that'll get us this completion. Then he will probably black spot us, but then we might be able to push through to a success. I'm tired of traveling when I don't know where I'm headed. It's not as if there's some town with a carpet rolled out for me. If I'm going to be unwelcome somewhere, it might as well be Aldhurst. At least the summers are mild. Yep. Figured that would happen. Fine, sorry. But actually, yeah, that's not too bad. Alright, we managed. We muddled through. I thought about all the kinds of death. Dying of thirst. That's the worst one. That won't be me, no. Any other kind. He seems to appreciate being able to talk frankly, even if the subject isn't pleasant. He is in such a grim place right now. I feel so bad for him. So I think we'll probably want to replace the double triangle. And the question is, do I want to pick up the trauma listen? I think so. I think having a trauma symbol on hand is a good idea. Alright, let's get this out of the way. You find Aurora softly strumming a weathered, stately old guitar outside her shop. No crowd gathers today. Oh, didn't see you there. Sorry, mood around town's been different these days. Leads the mind to wander back a ways, back to better days. Hey, does that sound like it could be the beginning of a song? Maybe you drove everybody off by being really uncomfortable to be around. It's so hard to know. Let me get the diamonds, I guess. Okay, that's fine. She's awfully good at going back and telling you, no, what I really meant was... You know, I used to play this old guitar with your mom and a mysterious man. Tall, dark, and handsome he was. But who was he? Who can say? What a strange interaction. And your mom wasn't exactly unnatural, but she was determined. Always wondered what exactly it was that brought her back here, time after time. Something tells me it wasn't just to play music. Yeah, could you maybe tell me more about this dude? If I learned anything about life, it's that it's chock full of small mysteries. Best anyone can do is hope they figure out which ones matter. You take care out there now. Well, shit. Aurora resumes her plucking. You walk away, but her words stick with you. Just who was this handsome man? Is it our dad? Could we actually learn something about our dad? Or maybe just some other guy that Mom was boning? That's still information, right? What do we want to do here? I don't want either of these cards. And there's nothing in my deck that I'm, like, at all eager to lose. It wouldn't be the end of the world to drop... Like, this is gonna end up just being double circle in most places we would go. The prepare is nice, but clarify is useful too. I think I'm gonna trade this out. We're getting to the leg of the trip where that triangle is not valuable. DeSudo's back doing what he does best. Pickling something. DeSudo is handwriting a new sign to point the way to his pickle paradise. Surprisingly, his cursive is impressively good. You note that the sign features his and Haruto's names prominently alongside one another. Oh, that's nice. Well, here we are, back in the brine, so to speak. You know, when I first left the vineyard, I remember thinking about how easy it would be to get this place off the ground. All I had to do was apply a little genius and voila! But it's never that simple, is it? I can't believe how close we were to failing that immediately. Still, it is pleasing to see Alter slowly but surely get back into the familiar swing of things. No small thanks to my pickles. And I suppose Haruto played a part too, since it is his vinegar, if pedantic we must be. Will it ever be the same again? Who knows? Ultimately, it's not relevant to my work. Alright, let's give him this to work off of, since we have to drop a failure here. If you insist upon ignorance, you could at least be blissful. Gosh, wouldn't that be the way? All right, this we can play with. My dude has a lot of diamonds. You see, it takes time, patience, and know-how to make something truly special. That's true of both pickles and people. His whole life philosophy is based on just the things that are common to both pickles and human beings. What do you mean that's not scientific? Of course it's scientific. Not every experiment is a success. It's trial and error, just like day-to-day life. Alright, I don't find that particularly compelling, but fine, I'll go along with it. Add in some careful observation, and I would claim with unshakable certainty that scientist is a perfectly valid and fitting label for any fellow seeker of truth. There, now that you've been well buttered, can I interest you in a pickle? Yeah, the part of that I have trouble with is fellow seeker of truth, because I don't necessarily think of Pseudo as, well. You don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it sounds like Pseudo not only learned something about himself, but shared it with you too. In his own roundabout way, but, you know, it's the thought that counts. Also the pickles. The pickles count. Do I want to just maintain here, or would I rather drop the double circle clarify for a another double diamond elaborate? I think I would, because we're going to places where it's more diamond square, right? Alright, well we got something out of that, and hopefully we at least helped Lars unburden himself a little. Aw, XN220 is not available. I was hoping to get some information about the locket. Two men push a dairy wagon up a hill. Children skip stones across a pond. A young woman writes in a diary on a ridge overlooking fields of lavender. Every mark the cataclysm left on Romina has vanished. And Haruto seems less grumpy than usual. He must be preoccupied by something. Haruto seems distant and distracted today. He barely notices your entrance, instead fixated on XN220 as the bot ferries an empty vinegar bottle back and forth between two shelves. Yeah, that's not ideal. I'm worried about XN220. Have you noticed him acting strange at all? You mean beyond the thing I'm seeing right now, which absolutely definitely applies? Ooh, let's carry that forward. I thought he was improving for a while, right after I oiled him up and scraped away the rust. But I'm afraid the problem is more than just cosmetic. It's XN's cognitive functions. They seem to be at the heart of the matter. I mean, I think I know some people who are good with robots. Maybe we could just have him looked at. Maybe bring him with us up to Old Marais or something? Or not to Old Marais, but to Sende. The other day I asked him to bring me a bottle of balsamic and he handed me a feral cat. That's not just worrying, it's actively dangerous. And I've tried tinkering with his circuitry, but I'm just a simple... I'm going to assume that word's pronounced vigneron, probably? What do I know about motherboards and soldering? Yeah, we could do this. Got a diamond? Okay, cool. I know he's just a robot, but since I gotten to know him, XN's become like a brother to me. Ooh, harsh words for XN. Yeah, me and Tsudo are talking again, but who says you can't have more than one brother? I really hope XN's gonna be okay. Haruto's eyes glaze over as he attempts to hold back tears. He sighs, watching the broken robot hustle back and forth on repeat, eager to complete its meaningless task. I would really like to be able to intervene somehow. I'm gonna replace one of the double diamond elaborates with this elaborate. So I think this is like almost strictly better, right? Because if there's a diamond on the right side of the previous card such that you're getting a match here anyway, this is going to have a diamond on it, so. These babblings are beyond comprehension. I was really hoping after the conversation we would be able to interact or at least offer to take him with us since we're going to a place where there are mechanics. Also, I'm going to be honest with you, given where Persari is, I was really hoping that XN220 was going to see the locket and be jostled. And these days, it's not just water old Murray has to worry about. Seems like maybe a bunch of people have left. Or something else has happened. The waters around the towers of Old Murray are filled with the remnants of sunken homes and destroyed shops. A lost doll, a broken table, a tangled mess of sodden clothes. The sounds of angry crowds float across the water. Let's talk to Thunder first. Thunder is initially cautious as you disembark in Old Murray, wary of the floating walkways and surging ground beneath his paws. He perks up when the crowd parts to reveal the water on all sides. Are you fascinated by the big water? Yeah, he loves it. Some dogs is water dogs, you know? You lure him away from the dark, crowded water with a smelly treat. It's not safe for him to swim here. He ignores it. Somewhere he found a treat to give you instead. How did you just find a... Okay. Also, spending time with Thunder erases some fatigue. Hooray. Should we talk to Tariq before we talk to Talia? I wonder if it matters. Like, I don't actually know if your narrative outcomes are affected by sequencing like this, but it would seem like... It would seem like talking to them in the two different orders would have, like, very different outcomes, potentially, right? Let's talk to Talia first, I guess. As you approach her storefront, Talia peeks out from behind a window shade, looking like a nervous wreck. She spots you and hurriedly ushers you inside. I'm worried about Tariq. Have you seen him around? Maybe it would have been better to do it the other way, just so that we could, like, give her a little peace of mind. I made him promise not to get involved with the protests, but if he's anything like his mother, nothing will keep him away from doing what he thinks is right. Okay, well, it sounds like you're raising a good kid then. Back in the day, I was actually quite the activist. A peaceful one, of course, though I did get into trouble sometimes. You probably didn't know that about me, did you? You know, honestly, I could have guessed. She definitely has the vibe, right? Didn't think so. You'd probably also be surprised to hear that your mom, she was an activist too. Nope, again, the vibe I think is strong. She really never told you the stories, huh? I'd love to hear some. Back when Tariq was a baby, old Murray got hit hard by the Algean fever. Your mom managed to smuggle in all kinds of goods right under the Rilkers' noses. She handed it all out to anyone who needed it free of charge. That's where the grudge comes from. That makes a lot of sense, actually. I kind of want to take advantage of the accord here. But you know what? This'll give her stuff to play off of, for sure. Yeah, we can work with that. Never did find out exactly how she got all that stuff in. I suspect she was in cahoots with the crew of the Wave Dancer. Well, thanks to your mom, my son is still alive today. We consider her a hero around these parts. Teary-eyed, Talia touches your arm gently and smiles. She tells you that wherever your mother is right now, she must be looking down on you with pride. Talia wipes her watery eyes, then heads out to look for her missing son. who I guess we're about to go tell that his mom is looking for him. I think I'm going to do this. Right now we only have one card that actually has a square on the left side, and that does seem dangerous. Tariq is thinking about escalation. Yeah, I get that. The crowd below the towers has grown noticeably in size, and the once peaceful protesters are now showing signs of anger and despair. From the cover of a dark alleyway, Tariq beckons you over. His tone is hushed and conspiratorial. Oh, these Rilkers, they make me so damn furious. They can help so many people here in Old Marais. And yet they still refuse. But this is my home. If there's anything in this world that would convince them to let us in... Is there anything in this world that would... Listen, I know how to read. You can't prove that I don't. This is not a great moment for that, my dude. I really need to draw my card that has a spiral on it. No, you're absolutely right. The Rilkers would rather watch us die than open their doors to a poor commoner. Well, we've tried convincing them with peaceful methods, but perhaps that time is over. I'm thinking it's time to take off the kitty gloves and do something a bit more drastic. Understand where I'm headed with this? Yeah, I mean, you're not exactly... This is some pretty weak innuendo, dude. We all understand where you're headed with this. You really don't get it, do you? And of course, the moment I draw this, he stops playing cards with spirals on the right side. Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page. I've got a plan that's guaranteed to make those Rilkers pay. There will be consequences, and sacrifices might need to be made. So if we're really going to go through with this thing, I need to know you're serious. Because there will be no turning back. Are you sure you're interested? Here's the thing. Yes, absolutely. And I don't want to dampen anybody's revolutionary vigor. However, I am really worried about this kid, and, like, I hate to be like, why don't we leave it for somebody else? Alright, there's a chance we're not going to get a choice here, right? Because we failed this. I'm going to try to go along, and we'll see what happens. That's what you have to say after all you've seen and heard? Like, I am definitely a little worried that going along with him here is going to get him seriously hurt. But people do have to do something. Sometimes it is the time for drastic action. I wish that the situation were a little bit less abstract in this particular case. I think that broadly, principally, I'm on his side, but I am worried about him specifically. I'm going to go along. You know what? You need me. I'm here. Let's do it. Okay. If you really are in, meet up with me later and we can go over the plan. If you're not, then we should pretend this conversation never happened and cease any further contact. You nod gravely, signaling to Tariq that you understand the danger of what lies ahead, and secretly wondering if when the time comes you'll have the courage to do what is necessary. You can join Tariq in protest. Sacrifices will be made. I really, really wish I knew the specifics of what we are talking about. Do we want this backtrack? Maybe I'm replacing this. We've not yet been able to play it even once. People seem to dance around our ability to play spirals pretty effectively. Maybe I'd rather have a backtrack than an elaborate for my square. Yeah, alright, that's what I'm gonna do. This is what Mom would do, right? All right, I think I'm in. Again, like, the details of what we're talking about here matter a lot, and we're not being given any, so we just have to kind of, like, fill in. I'm in, kid. You find Tariq in the alley just below the towers, pacing nervously back and forth. He's dressed in dark clothing and wields 2 heavy bricks in his hands, presumably one for each of you. We, like, talking about smashing a window here? Oh, you came. I was pretty sure I scared you away and that I'd be in this all by myself. But clearly you understand the stakes. Are you ready to take these bastards down, no matter the cost? You keep talking like that. It does worry me. And, you know, in character, like, having a better understanding of what went on between Mom and the Rilkers maybe makes it a little bit more sense. Makes it make a little bit more sense that we might be more aggressive than we would have on a previous trip. Now that we understand the basically the reason that our mom got blackballed and the Rilkers have been trying to destroy our entire town was because my mother dared to give unpaid medical aid to people they were trying to sell medical aid to. Good. That makes one of us at least. I'm so scared right now. My hands are trembling. There's no turning back. Are you ready for whatever sacrifices this demands? Rilker guards are defending the entrance to the towers, but we're going for the windows. Okay, just smashing windows as a means to entry. It's dangerous, kid. Once we take out the windows, nothing can stop our hordes from swarming into those towers. Is that true, even? Nothing. Sound like a good plan to you? Speak now or forever hold your peace. No, this does not sound like a good plan. I think this sounds like a plan that's basically doomed to failure. It's so hard to know, though, because we know so little about the situation. He might be right. I don't know if he's right. We have not been given the tools to know if he's right. Well, I'm just going to listen for a minute. Okay, then we're in agreement. I know violence isn't always the answer. My mom would argue that it never is. But she can't see the big picture. If no one's willing to make the ultimate sacrifice, then all of us are doomed. Be sure you're willing to face what comes next. I will say that, like, in terms of the narrative language, it's easy to see, like, his hesitation and him, like, trying to use me bolstering my courage as a way of bolstering his own courage. But in terms of, like, game mechanics, it really is like the game is giving us so many chances to back out that it does make me really nervous. And the thing is, we can absolutely succeed here. We put down that accommodate and we win. We put down that accommodate and the bricks fly. I don't know if that's we win. Maybe I want to try to talk him out of it. I'm really unsure. And I'm unsure not because of the principle of the situation, but because of the specifics of the situation that we don't have access to. I mean, throw some bricks and run. And then just hope that things work out. I mean, things are going to work out how they're going to work out. Here's the thing. He is right that if nobody does anything, the crowd sits here and continues to boil over. The Rilkers have more time to react. Things aren't going to get better for the people outside the towers, right? Throwing the bricks is chaotic, and it's scary because it's chaotic. But if your options are chaos or a kind of stability that just strangles the good people and watches them slowly die, then we choose the chaos, right? That feels like the only right thing to do. One, two. Just before launching your brick into the towers, you remove your mom's locket from around your neck and clutch it tightly in your free hand, taking solace in the fact that perhaps she would have made the exact same choice. That was the moment that sparked the revolution of Old Moray. And while it began with violence, by the time Tariq and his followers declared victory, they had established peace and equality as the cornerstones of their newly reformed society. Very easy to do on the day. It's the maintaining it that's tricky. As for the mysterious Sojourner who threw the first brick, a statue has been raised at the town center of New Moray to commemorate their great sacrifice. Was there a great sacrifice? Oh, okay, yeah. Their great sacrifice was... That's I was killed in the riot, I think. It's fascinating that that's an ending that's available. I mean, honestly, it feels really right, I think, given the way that sort of like the narrative line of us being drawn into our mother's business more and more unfolded there, and then finally being told exactly what it was that turned the Rilkers against her. I definitely have fear and concern for how... Well, okay, so I was about to say I have fear and concern for how that turns out for Bartow, but we're not given a lot of detail on what exactly happened to the Rilkers or the Rilkers' sort of like hold over the area. It may be the case that by removing the Rilkers' sort of like power in Old Moray, maybe we save Bartow. Because like Nadine wanted to keep the town on the route. The only thing that was keeping Bartow in flux was there was the economic concern, but mostly it was the pressure from the Rilkers. Without the Rilkers having the ability to exert that pressure, presumably Bartow stays on the route, and thus things are likely to be fine. They don't have me anymore, but it feels very tremendously selfish to be like, well, I was the only thing keeping that town going. And we did a very good thing for New Moray, so... And it feels like it is in line with our mother's actions. I like that ending. I like that ending a lot, actually. Fingers crossed that things worked out for Bartow. And I guess it's appropriate that we don't get to know, because obviously we will never be there again to know. Gosh, I like this game a whole bunch. All right, that's going to be it for us for today. I don't know. We might do another run where I do something a little bit different, and I try really hard to dig into the business of the circle, because we didn't do that last time. I don't believe we ever actually made it to Hara, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we might do another run because I really enjoy this, and I don't want it to be over, even if there is maybe going to be some significant overlap. Yeah, I'm undecided. I probably should have figured this out before sitting down to record what I knew was going to be the last episode of the run. Well, this is the thing. What I'm doing is I'm leaving you all in suspense, because suspense is great for engagement. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have strong feelings about whether or not we should do another run, and in particular, if we do another run, what we might do in it, go ahead and leave that stuff in the comments below. That's good for engagement too. And when you come back next time tomorrow, maybe that's what we're doing, or maybe we're on to some kind of cool new business. So cool and new that I don't even know what it would be yet. That's exciting in its own way, right? And we'll see you then.